Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another video here on the channel, Charles Morse. Watching Donald Trump kick and scream because he has not, when Donald Trump doesn't have everything go his way with his trials, that is, that's going to be like one of the most entertaining things that people would, watch. Because you may not have seen this in Donald J. Trump in 2016, but his narcissism was not that exposed in 2016 like it has now. But basically, when he is indicted and convicted of his crimes during his presidency, including January 6th, and the documents that were kept at Mar-a-Lago, Trump is basically going to just like lash out, and he's going to he would just, like go completely nuts over all of his indictments and that stuff, and he would start making like delusional posts on like his Truth Social, and Trump would go absolutely insane. And this is the man that people have elected back in 2016. Now, a lot of working people, some of the working people, have noticed that Donald J. Trump was one of the biggest voting mistakes that they ever made back in 2016. And you saw an ad where one of them said that, "Hi, my name is John, and I voted for Donald Trump back in 2016 because I thought he would help the working people. It's the biggest voting mistake I ever made in 2016. This time I voted for Joe Biden because I believe he has more of the country in his heart." And the ad ended in, "I will not even trust the next 3 words that come out of Donald Trump's mouth." So, yeah, those are pretty powerful words. Yeah, and a lot of people have had enough with this guy. I mean, once he kick and scream because his trials are not going the way he wants them to, the stuff, that'll be the best entertainment yet that a lot of people will actually see. And they'll begin to actually see how, they begin to see how narcissistic this man really is. Because let's not forget, Donald J. Trump has also been a racist too toward congresswomen, and he's done a bunch of other crimes, including the Stormy Daniels case. So things are not looking good for him. But what's not going to look good for him is when he's found guilty of the January 6th insurrection, and the mishandling of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, and including the war crime on Iran. That's where he's going to be in trouble here. Some pretty big trouble, I have to say. And it's not going to look pretty for him. And he's going to be a sorry man once he walks out of that courtroom and is found completely guilty for all the crimes that he's done. He would kick and scream. He would be totally furious. And at least a lot of the public would be able to see how much of a broken man he is. And a lot of people aren't going to really, that probably would not even feel so sorry for him. Donald J. Trump had done all of this to himself. And for January 6th, I want to say he's attempted to actually steal people's voting rights, and he has incited his mob to actually march up Capitol Hill and overturn the election results. Trump is a man that has done a lot of bad stuff. And I'm sure he's going to be convicted of it. Now, if he kick and scream after he walks out of that courtroom, that's not my problem. He did it all to himself. He's a complete narcissist. And narcissists are pretty crazy people. Especially crazy people who run this country. I mean, let's not forget that. If there's any other narcissist after Trump that gets elected to be here in the United States and that stuff, well, that's going to be pretty bad. If Trump managed to get elected in 2024, the one thing he would do is he would send Ukrainians, he would send the U.S. military on Ukrainian soil to fight off the Russians, and this would make Vladimir Putin furious, where Vladimir Putin would want to send his Russian army to attack the United States. And the United States is a big country. It would take probably the Russian army like days before they reached the other side and cause at least as much destruction in the United States as possible. Because as Vladimir Putin said at the beginning of this war, he said, anybody who interferes with the war will experience the biggest consequence that you have ever experienced in history. And who would be at fault here? Donald J. Trump. What were to actually happen here in the United States. Well, basically, if the Russian army were invading because we sent U.S. troops over to Ukraine, this would drive Vladimir Putin mad, probably, and this would have Vladimir Putin send Russian soldiers over to the United States. And because the United States is a large country, and there's a lot of NATO, because we support NATO allies, Vladimir Putin would want to declare war on the United States. He probably want to declare war on the United States because we're the ones supporting NATO allies. And Vladimir Putin, if the Russian army came and invaded the United States and that stuff, well, U.S. soldiers would actually defend this country, the USA, yeah, yes, but you think Donald J. Trump would actually do something about it? Probably not. I mean, I'd be quite surprised if he never did anything about it, but, I could be just, exaggerating here. I mean, if Donald J. Trump were elected as president of the United States, I think that would probably be where Vladimir Putin would actually, end this war himself, because Vladimir Putin loves Donald J. Trump. So, I mean, either way, if Donald Trump did get elected, Vladimir Putin would probably stop this war. If Joe Biden were elected again, then Vladimir Putin would actually continue this war. But I'm getting off topic on this video. It'll be fun to watch Donald Trump kick and scream. And it would be, a real big treat for the United States to be able to put a narcissistic man behind bars because he decided to commit a bunch of crimes with the Mar-a-Lago documents, the Stormy Daniels case, and the Stormy Daniels crime and the January 6th insurrection. Trump could spend his entire life almost in prison because of what he did to this country, or what he did in this country. And it'll be a real treat for a lot of people, because no man is above the law, and no narcissist should be able to ruin the lives of Americans. It doesn't matter who you are. Nobody is above the law. Nobody. It doesn't even matter who you are. Nobody is above the law. Not even Donald J. Trump. No president of the United States is. Nobody, no individual. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is above the law. And whatever crime you commit, you'll eventually be found guilty of it. Nobody gets away with it. Nobody is above the law. Nobody is even above the Constitution. No president of the United States. And that's how that goes. That's how it is in the United States. And nobody gets away with it in this country. Not even Donald J. Trump himself. So, it'll be very interesting to watch Donald J. Trump kick and scream because he did not get his way in court in his trials. He would claim that they would be unfair, that these that the jury and the the court picked a jury and witnesses that were Trump haters. That's what he would claim. Then I'd be sure he'd put that on his Truth Social. It wouldn't be surprising. That's where Trump's true colors of narcissism are gonna be pretty much at the top, almost. And the whole world can start to see how insane and corrupt Donald Trump is as a narcissistic man. This is going to be it'll be nice to actually see a narcissistic man such as Donald J. Trump actually be put behind bars. This man cannot be trusted to run the country again. This man should be convicted of his crimes. This man should not be allowed to be president again. Because I'm sure that the people who voted for him back in 2016 don't want to see him run again. Some of the people, however, there are some that still think that Donald J. Trump is going to make America great again. Some people still believe it. And the thing that people just don't realize is that he's lying to you when he says make America great again. I mean, narcissists are just crazy people. And he should not be allowed to be running as president of the United States back in this country. Joe Biden's not a crazy man. Joe Biden's not a narcissist. So, is Joe Biden run the country much better than Trump? In my opinion, yes. Because Joe Biden's not a narcissist like Trump is. So, yeah. That's enough said about that. Once Trump gets convicted, I'm very sure he's going to kick and scream and whine. And here's the thing. The cops tell you that you have the absolute right to remain completely silent. Trump might not be able to do that because of how narcissistic and psychotic he is. And basically, he's going to ruin his whole life. Almost. And people will, some of them would feel completely sorry for what he's did to this country. Some of them would just feel sorry that he's in prison. Some people want Trump elected in 2024, but it just may not end up happening. Because once he's convicted of all his crimes and indicted for what he did in this country, for the mishandling of classified documents in Mar-a-Lago, the Stormy Daniels incident, and the January 6th insurrection, all of that, once he's convicted and indicted, it'll be very, very entertaining to watch this man kick and scream. And get this, if he lies in court, he could get an additional 5 years. And that's where Trump would ruin almost like his whole life. He would have his freedom taken away from him pretty much. And, he wouldn't be able to, he probably just wouldn't be able to live with himself after that. So, yeah. It'll be fun to watch Donald J. Trump kick and scream after he's done with all of his trials. And he'd make crazy posts on his Truth Social. I mean, I'd love to see this man just get put behind bars so we don't even have to, deal with this crazy man in this country. I want to see him put behind bars, and I want to see him actually locked up for life. And I'm sure a lot of people in the United States feel the same way. This is Charles Morse. Have a good day. And, nobody is above the law here in the United States. No one. Not even the President of the United States. Or the former President of the United States. It doesn't matter who you are. Former President, or whoever you are, you're not above the law. And you can be convicted of your crimes. Anybody can. And once you make those crimes, they can come right back at you and bite you in the back. And that is exactly what's happening with Donald J. Trump. This is Charles Morris. Have a good day. I will see you on my next video.